Welcome to day 3 of the 30-day wholesaling challenge. This is Zach Ginn.
Rick Ginn here.
And in today's video, we are going to finish off strong. This is probably our most important video of the challenge. And what we're going to do today exactly is share with you exactly how to talk to sellers, close sellers, find cash buyers. But most importantly, in the end of this challenge, is going to be the exact 3 game plans. And so we're going to give you 3 game plans of if you are an in-person wholesaler with no money at all, if you're a virtual wholesaler with no money at all, or if you just want to take the Disney Express Pass option and get a deal the fastest way possible with a little bit of a budget. I think we put like $300 in there. You know, I think everyone probably should be at that. But if you got no money, we have no problem. I had somebody from Sudan and Papua New Guinea reach out to me today in freewholesaling.com. And I don't know if you ever know what's going on in Sudan, but pretty crazy stuff. They got a bad war. It's not good. And still trying to go out here and wholesale. And so, of course, some people are virtually no money at all. We want to give everyone pretty much as many options as possible for success in wholesaling real estate. And so, guys, we're day 3 of this challenge. We're pumped up for it, guys. I rarely go live 3 days in a row. But this challenge is so important. We're kicking off July as hard as we possibly can and really just trying to dedicate as much time as possible for you guys to go out here and have success in wholesaling real estate. So we have no time to waste here. So let's just get straight into it and share exactly how you guys can have success wholesaling real estate. But again, in this challenge, just do me a favor. But I can't get started until you let me know, where is everyone coming from? We need a network in the comments. This is where to talk to other wholesalers, see where everyone's at. So call them out. Where are they at? Where we got? Where are we wholesaling real estate from today? Boston?
Got Boston in the house.
Boston in the house.
Nice. What else did I see on there?
Boston, Northeast. Okay, I like that.
SoCal.
Tampa,
Back there.
Indiana, LA, Austin, Dallas, Central Florida.
PSL in the house.
Port St. Lucie, Seattle.
Colleen.
Ernest says we need some more slang, Rick. Okay.
I picked that up on Monday. That's where they school me. And then I test it out on you. I try to tell them what time I'm going to drop it, although Jesus ratted me out, but it's okay.
Yeah, we need a new one.
He taught it to me, though.
We need a new hip Gen Z slang for you,
guys.
Jennifer.
We'll do it on Monday. Like, don't do it in front of here.
Let them cook's a good one too. I like let them cook, but
lock it in didn't stick, did it?
Lock it in. You know, here I'll give you before we get started, I'll give you a new one. Are you ready? You're cooked. Not let them cook, but you're cooked. Okay, you're done for. Okay, that's a new one. You're cooked.
That was even around when I was.
Really?
Yeah.
That's like a new one.
You guys are recycling old stuff, man.
Okay. No, what about no cap? Okay, we'll do on cap.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll do that a little later. But all right, we got Milwaukee,
Monday
Detroit. We love
it. I like to watch your reaction. You're like,
oh my gosh. So, guys, let's talk about it. Let's share exactly everything you need to know for success. And let's break down day 3 of our action plan guide. So we're going to talk about how to close sellers, talk to sellers, how to figure out if our deal, how much is it worth. We're going to talk about exactly how to find cash buyers and really a precise action plan to get your first wholesaling real estate deal in the next 30 days. And so let's break this all down. Ooh, bussing. I say we do bussing. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Okay.
like a Greyhound, right?
No, not a bus.
No,
I have not.
Scariest things you'll ever do.
Okay, so yeah,
It's
no.
A moving jail.
Oh boy. All right. So we're going to break down exactly the precise actions you need to get your first wholesale deal in the next 30 days. And so let's break this all down and let's share this. And so we're going to first talk about the title company vetting process. And so first and foremost, we need to use a title company in these transactions. How do you find a title company? The easiest one to do is to go inside of freewholesaling.com. Okay. Let's do some freewholesaling.com and go to zachdiscord.com and just make a post or ask, hey, in Las Vegas, where is the best title company? The best title company is going to come from just asking where other people are successfully doing it. One thing I really love doing in the Discord, and I'll show you right here. So Remember, freelancing.com is the main one, but we also have a Discord community, and the Discord community is it's like a lot more younger guys and gals in there, but remember everyone's in there. But my favorite thing, I think everyone should be in the Discord because we have Friday calls in there, right? Yep. But let me share the Discord really quick. So this is the zachdiscord.com, right? And the cool part about that is if you go to zachdiscord.com, let's just go for a second around here. People are talking, right? And we got some admins, we got some awesome people in here. I wanted to skip Jason.
Fast.
Yeah, it's pretty cool in here. Let's skip Jason. I'm going to talk. Yeah, okay. Jason's on here right here. So shout out to Jason. He's got his shiny one. He's got the verified closer badge in zachdiscord.com. You know what that means? That means he's done over $250,000 of closings. That's pretty dang cool. That's why he gets the shiny holographic Jason Goot because he's done that. And if you're an admin, you get that too. We own real estate with Jason. Yes, we do. But basically, Jason, we own real estate together, all that stuff. He's a cool guy. Some people talk about how cool it is to get married to somebody. How about you own real estate with someone? That's you get to really know someone, right? Me and Jason, we're locked in with the deed. Okay. It's sometimes harder to unwind a real estate deals here. There ain't no prenup on that one. I'll tell you that. So I don't know where you meant that one, but okay. All right. So Jason Goot's right here. And that means he's basically done over $250,000 of closings. He sent me over $250,000 in HUDs, or I verified it with him. And basically that means he's as legit as they come. And so that means I just click here and I can choose right here to go message him. Hold on. Is he not accepting messages right now?
He's on the phone.
Yeah, he doesn't have a messenger on here. Oh, I got to add him as a friend. I don't know why I haven't done that yet. Okay. So basically, when he adds me as a friend, hopefully he does. Be my friend, Jason. You can go click and message him and just say, hey, Jason. Hey, I just saw your verified closer in zachdiscord.com. That's pretty dang cool. And you can basically just say, like, hey, Jason, like, what closing attorney you use in South Carolina? Pretty cool. Right? There we go. Oh boy, Jason. Okay. Jason in the chat. But basically what I mean by this is I can go direct message him and just ask him, hey, what closing attorney you use? And that's the coolest part about finding title company. Just ask successful people in our communities and they're more than happy. We're not scared to share who we use for a title company, right? And so also when you talk to a title company though, you need to go out here and make sure you vet them properly. This means you ask them the right questions. And so there are 4 main questions you have to ask, right?
Yes.
Your title company. So what questions to ask a title
company? So you have to predicate it is I strongly recommend that you work with a title company before you do a wholesale deal. And I know you go, well, how hard can that be? I'm just telling you, I've watched more deals screwed up by a title company that refuses to work with people like us wholesalers. So you have to understand is do this process before, because the worst thing you do is go out and get a great motivated seller that needs to sell and have the title company screw it up. And if you don't think they have the power to do it, trust me, I've watched it over and over. I've watched them screw up deals of mine. So you want to do this process before you get a deal. This is a non-negotiable part because it's not hard, but it has to be predicated. So the first one is I simply ask them, do you guys work with assignment of contract? Shut your mouth and listen carefully. I'm looking for absolutely yes. If you get a long-winded explanation, I don't know if I'm even moving on with the conversation. Or if you get a hard no, they did you a favor. Remember, we look at this like qualifying. I'm not selling them anything. I'm trying to bring them in and work with my business. So you have to understand that. Number 2, ask them how many wholesaling deals they have done. Don't start out, do you work with wholesalers? It's such an open-ended question. Some of them don't even know what a wholesaler is. So if they do an assignment of contract, it's naturally going to lead to question number 2. Do you work with any other wholesalers? And how many have you worked with in the last year? And they'll tell you, hey, we do 20 or 30% of our business with wholesalers. Understand this, most title companies, 95% of their clients are with realtors. Do you understand that? So don't be shocked if you reach out to 3 title companies and 3 don't want to do business with you all. Why would they not want to do business with us? because some of them are just geared towards realtors, and that's how they train their employees, and they're doing you a favor by telling them you don't handle it. The next thing is I ask them, how do you handle probates? Why? Because if you're doing wholesaling, you're eventually going to come across probates. You do driving for dollars. That's how I found probates, by accident. Then I found them on purpose. Why? I want you to get me through the probate process and tell me what paperwork I need. They are an instrumental part of your team. And remember, they're the ones that will vouch for you when nobody else will vouch for you. I'm telling you, they are your third-party verifier. They're licensed and insured, and they will help your reputation. The last one is, guys, I like to work with small mom and pop title companies. Why? The service is better and there's a commitment. Why? I want someone's contact phone number. I just don't want their office phone number. I want their cell phone number. You're not going to get it from the big. There's about 4 or 5 really big title companies out there. Find someone that does business locally in your community. And remember, they are licensed for the entire state. So if you do a remote area in your state, they can handle that. And if you have a go-to person, you want to use the exact same person every time. Now, my local title company, we've been working with the same person actually ever since you've been in the business, like 9 years. Yeah. And I had a person 7 years. That's what makes your business flow real smooth. You do not want to go person to person. They go, oh, don't worry, we have 15 agents, we can handle anything. No, one person, because you're going to train them how you work. They're going to help you and they're going to warn you with any problems. So I want to find a small private company. I ask them if they do assignment of contracts. Do you work with wholesalers? How many in the past year? Do you handle probates? And can I get your cell phone number? But you got to kind of ask, hey, are you the type of person I can call on Saturday afternoon? Because that's what you need. Can I call you on Sunday? My title companies all answer their phones. It is non-negotiable. I do not have a 9-to-5 schedule. Now, they could usually answer a simple question. I don't tax them. And then you could forward them the email and then deal with them on Monday. But guys, please don't wait till you get a deal to try to figure out the title company. And remember, you need to pick the title company. They are basically the most important team member you have when you start out wholesaling. If you think you're going to use a realtor's title company or one, maybe you bought a house in the past, you're going to be shocked when you ask all 4 of these questions. And guys, do not negotiate on these questions. They are going to save you from so much aggravation. The last thing I want you to do is go through all this work, all this marketing effort, and have a bold conversation and get somebody under contract to give it to the wrong title company. Yes. Can any title company technically handle our purchase and sale agreement up from a wholesaler? Yes. But are they going to screw it up? Are they going to freak your seller out? Don't find it out after you have a deal. Find it out before.
I agree. And so one thing I could tell everyone is, first and foremost, do you do assignments? Yes. How many wholesaling deals have you done? Do you handle probates? And who's my contact person? Simple. If they can't answer, I've had so many people struggle. They're like, this title company asked the seller if they're okay with making a $60,000 assignment fee. It's like, wow, jeez, man. That's ridiculous. So yeah, we got to vet it out. And so the next question we get, and probably one of the most common ones, for a beginner, and this is something we have to go forward before we start getting deals, is like, how much is my wholesale deal worth? Remember, I like to look at wholesaling as buying $100,000 bills. Now, a lot of people don't know this, but there's actually $100,000 bills. And so let me show you what it looks like. But they used to do these like for banks and stuff before they had like digital currency and stuff. But this is the way I look at wholesaling, because I'm mentally crazy, but everyone knows this. Like, this is a legit, like, I think it's a real bill. It's a real bill. It's called the $100,000 bill.
Worth $100,000 now?
Yeah, it's worth $100,000. But
it's worth more than that.
Yeah, probably. But it's basically back when it was Woodrow Wilson. Don't ask me why. But basically, it was I'm not sharing it. Here you go. There you go. It was a $100,000 bill. It's still legal tender in the United States. Now, the reason I say $100,000 bill is, just think about it, okay? It's very, very, very interesting. But it's like, okay, how much is that $100,000 bill worth if they printed those like today? They'd be worth $100,000, right? Mm-hmm. Now you have D serials and F serials, and of course some are worth more than. But let's say, just to make simple, this bill is worth $100,000. Okay, so How easy would it be to make money if you just flip paper? Oh, well, we do flip paper in real estate, don't we? Okay, whatever. But like, think about it. What if somebody says, hey, I'm looking to sell this bill. What would you offer? And like, I want a cash offer. And I say, would you take 60 grand on that? And they say, no, I have to be at 90. Would you take 70? Sure, do 70. Perfect. And then I go sell this bill and guess what we sell the bill for? A lot of people think we sell the bill for 100. No, you sell the bill for 90. You write a contract to buy this bill for 70 grand and you sell it to a guy for 90 grand. You make $20,000. The guy who bought the bill for me still's making money. I'm still making money. Everyone's making money. And I know that sounds like, oh my gosh, I'd rather do that because it's almost guaranteed how much it's worth. The reason why we make money in real estate is because we find untapped opportunity. And so the hardest part is figuring out sometimes what the house is worth. I looked at it's a $260,000 bill. We're going to lock it up for $230, sell it for $240 and make 10 grand. That's why I like to think of it, because like, if you know what it's worth, going to negotiations, you just got to be below that. Boom. It's super straightforward, right?
I would love to have one of those $100,000 bills in a frame.
Yeah,
they're probably, what do you think they're worth? They're probably worth like
double. Some rich guy uses it as a flex.
Well, they don't print them anymore. I like that. That's pretty cool, man. It just, guys, listen, think about if you go to a garage sale to learn the art of how to flip something. Gary Vee talks about flipping Beanie Babies, and some of you guys do video games. This shoe market thing is nuts. Like, I hear about this all the time. I'm just in shock what some of these the shoes, but like, how many shoes do you got to flip? And so I like to find the biggest asset class. What is bigger than real estate? There's just really not, other than flipping corporations and doing stuff like that.
I guess private equity, that's it.
Yeah. So, but you can't do that on any type of scale.
If you consider public land, then no, real estate's the most valuable thing.
So make a choice. So if you bought little trinkets as a kid, you had that entrepreneur blood, then wholesaling is the absolute perfect fit, because why not do something of like a bigger scale so you can get the economies of scale to do it? Because I think the shoe thing is actually really cool. And don't get me wrong, I think watches are cool too, but like it's very set, and you can only scale it so much and make so much. And remember, we're dealing with the human problem. The problem is, even if someone has a trashed house, a Rolex is worth a certain dollar amount, and even unless you bang it and crack the crystal or something like on it, you don't get the opportunity. With real estate, guys, people who I love when people say, I'm going to buy my house and in 15 years, it's going to be double the value, and I'm going to make a $300,000 in appreciation.
I mean,
it will, but the reality of these houses is some people don't take care of them. And the ones that don't take care of them,
sure.
If you added up every Home Depot receipt, all the design and the furniture, I'd be willing to say most people, if you really had to figure out the value of the dollar on their personal home, they don't make nearly what they think they do, because they personalize it. How many houses we buy, I'm like, what were you thinking?
But we talk about this all the time, right? Anyone who gets into flipping things, right? Gary Vee type style, all this stuff, right? Look at all the things people flip. People flip cars. The people that make money flipping cars usually are going to be cheaper cars, because you ain't flipping big Lamborghinis because the price goes up, right? Alex, Minio guy, we actually interviewed him Monday. He used to flip watches. If you look at people who flip watches, they're not flipping $600,000. They're flipping the $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, because when it gets to a value of too high, you can't flip them. The sneakers, you ain't flipping $7,000 sneakers. You're going to flip the $100, $200 ones, right? And in real estate, we flip the cheapest houses. Thankfully for us, the houses are still kind of expensive. There's $200,000 houses, but like, it's easier to flip a $200,000 house than it's to flip a $200,000 car. But so much easier.
Because it's considered the lower end.
It's lower end.
Yep.
And so every type of person is going to have that. And so we have to figure out what this $100,000 bill is going to be. And so in wholesaling, we have to find the value of the deal. So how do we figure out the value of the deal? What I like to do is I like to look at ARV and comps. And so this is a pretty simple equation, but what ARV repairs and all this stuff is we have to figure out, ARV stands for after repair value. Okay. After repair value stands for what the property is worth after it's been repaired, when it looks all sexy and great and everything, right? Now, that means that ARV is what the house is worth in its best condition, HGTV style, A&E TV show, whatever, right? Whatever that style is, right? Perfectly done. That's what the house is worth. Repairs is how much it's going to take to bring that house up to that standard. Now, AR is exactly the after repair. So the repair cost needed. V is value. So if you take ARV, I know this, stay with me for a second. If you take ARV, AR is repair cost needed. V is the value after it, basically the MAO. And so if you want to look at what ARV is what the MAO is plus the repair costs. Stay with me here. ARV is MAO plus repair costs. Think about that for a second. MAO plus repair costs to a point, right?
You know what I used to think ARV was? What somebody told me?
Yeah, what? I know what it is.
No. Like, I was so stupid when I first started wholesaling. Somebody asked me, what is the ARV? I go, it's the actual retail value. And that phrase comes off the Price is Right. But like, I didn't know, like, and you learn it. Like, I go, and somebody go, no, it's after. I go, you sure? Anyways, I corrected myself, but I go, it's the actual retail value.
The only reason you never got in trouble because you never said it, you never say ARV to seller, so they don't really even know.
Listen, I'm just showing, like, I didn't know everything. I didn't know a lot when I started. I went through and do it. And I think we get so tied up in ARV and all these numbers. You know, I just recently did a video and I talked about it, is you guys are trying to comp. Well, I don't want to get ahead of myself. We can get in the comps, or
we're talking about this right now.
So here's the reality is, here's how I explain it. I'm old school simple. When it comes to wholesale, this is actually everything we do is wholesale. If you talk to a food company, a restaurant, what do? They try to buy things cheap as possible. Usually got to buy it in bulk, and we buy low, right? And then the only difference is most places like a restaurant, they're going to want to sell retail, right? Here's the truth of a wholesaler. And this will give you much more clarity on when you do comps. If we buy low, we sell medium. Why? We want to exchange speed and lower our risk. Some of you guys get so obsessed on getting that retail comp. Does it really matter to get that last 10 to 12% of the comp? I've seen people fight for days for it. And here's what I found. If you spend too much time and energy trying to get that perfect ARV, number one, you're not getting in that position. You should know it, but it's a parameter. You stay on the lower side. If you get more, that's great. And here's the truth. The longer you spend on the comp, the worse the comp's going to be. You know why? Because the data tells you what the comp is. You didn't accept it. And you're going to know, I got it under contract for this. So then you go out and seek. Have you ever had that friend or family member where, like, they'll ask 10 people the same question? You know why? Because they don't like your answer. They're going to wait till someone complies with the answer that they've made up in their head to make sure you conform to it. So I find if you spend like hours on pulling comps, you start cherry picking them. So you ignore the data, which is the truth. And then you tell yourself a lie. And then you get in this ridiculous circle. And after you call 30 cash buyers, what do they all say? You paid too much for the property and you don't learn your lesson. So I'm just telling you, buy low, sell medium. Know the ARV, but like, don't obsess about it. ARVs, in my opinion, were actually designed for fix and flippers, people want to fix them up, and realtors who want to list the property. So if we're buying low and we're selling medium, why is everybody so obsessed hanging on the top? The reality is most of you are overpaying for your properties because you're scared to do the hard part and get that no out of the way. And we teach the other way. I just want to give you a mental picture of how comping goes. I just got to be within 10, maybe 12% of it. A realtor listing it, think about them. They just want the highest number. So the more time you spend chasing a comp, the more unreliable, and it's going to shake your confidence and you're going to waste a ton of time. Get the comp. It's usually a range. Pick the lower side, get it as low as you can, and then get it out to your cash buyers. Some of them you'll be shocked you'll get more than you thought, and others you'll have to renegotiate. You're never going to get it exactly right in wholesaling. So buy low, sell medium, get the ARV, but don't obsess over it.
I agree. And so let's talk about finding the values and everything like that. So ARV, what the product thing's worth on its best day, repairs the repairs. So let's break this down comps. So comps are short again for comparables. So when we look at a property, let's say we have a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, we want to find other 3-bedroom, 2-baths. Pretty simple. If it's a 2-bedroom, 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 2-bath, look for other 2s, right? So we say 3, 2, 2, 1, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-bedroom, 2-bath, right? Simple, right? I like to do plus or minus 250 square feet. So what I mean by this is if our property is 1,250 square feet, I'm going to look at comparable properties that are anywhere from a range of 1,000 square feet all the way up to 1,500 square feet. Build range, plus or minus 10 years. I mean, you could probably increase it a little more. Some people get too crazy on that. I've never been the craziest on year built, but it's still important to have. So decade to decade usually. So if a house is built in 1994, I like to look at 1984 to 2004. Now, once you hit like 2010s, I don't really use that rule anymore. But they honestly, like, if I was buying a new house to live in, like if I'm talking about like a mansion, because I'm only looking at mansions now, rich people problems. But if I'm looking like a mega nice, like 15-bedroom house, mega mansion, I'd rather take a mega mansion built in 1992 than one built in 2020, by far. I just think the way they built older houses to a point. I mean, some are better, but like some of these younger houses are just like built so bad. Like, you've seen
Living in Miami then? Those mansions are like insanity.
Yeah, but they're all brick built in 1962.
But I'm talking about the modern ones.
The modern ones are pretty sick.
Go to New York. I mean, you got to.
Oh, that's all. That's not even a house at that point. But yeah. So again, plus or minus 10-year built range. Same subdivision. That's an important one. We talk about subdivisions a lot, but that's basically how the property appraiser divides areas in a city or county. And then what you want to do is calculate a mean or average price per square foot. And so let me show you how to do it the right way. So let's go inside of, we could use a freeway and a paid way. And so let's just use.
We also have to put proximity in there too.
Subdivision.
Yeah.
So I just use subdivision. So for sake of time, you can use Zillow, Realtor.com for free. If you're going to use a software, again, everything is kind of included on XLead. So I'd probably go do that. But let's go to XLeads real quick and just comp. Hope this video doesn't get in trouble. Everyone likes to get XLeads in trouble here. First time I share, it's got the free skip tracing, so it kind of gets in trouble there. All right. So here's XLeads. So let's just comp a property in Las Vegas. They have a Las Vegas in New Mexico. Oh my gosh. All right. Apparently. All right. Let's find a random house. Filter it out. This ain't the version 3 beta one, right? This is just the demo one? Correct. Okay, cool. I do not want to show what we're cooking here. Let's just do a vacant house. So, yeah, we had one we were checking out the beta on here, but okay. So let's just do this house right here, okay? So if I want to figure out what a good offer price is going to be, so let's not show the skip tracing on there. The free unlimited skip tracing. Bum. All right, so let's say we want to figure this out. So XLeads is automatically going to tell you a couple things. It's going to tell you the retail value is around $263,000 on this house. It's also going to tell you that there is a probate. Oh, there's a probate.
Ooh.
Dang. If you have the Pro or X plan, it just tells you if it's a probate now. That was a new mini update. We want to do that before version 3 come out. I'm not going to tell you why, but this is a precursor to version 3. So version 3 of XLeads coming out within 45 days, I think. But basically, if you have the Pro X plan, the Deal Ninja AI is going to tell you this is a probate, and it was an internal probate transfer, not a market sale. So that's an inherited property. Free and clear title, pretty cool. And then it looks like there's multiple liens on their house. So that's pretty cool. And so if you just want to know how much to offer to a motivated seller, XLeads on the Pro and X plans, we just literally have the AI do all the work now. Pretty much it says if it needs light repairs, offer 189, medium repairs, offer 179, and heavy repairs, offer 164. Okay, there are your starting points for your offers. And then obviously you can go to Deal Ninja AI and say, hey, it needs a new bathroom, list this and this, what we list it for. If you just literally tell it, it will tell you that too. So it's pretty cool. But yeah, that is literally what I would just offer. And if a property's ARV is 263 and it needed like 40 grand in repairs, I think 180 is a great offer. So like this AI is really kind of on the point on the offers. We've kind of worked pretty hard on it. And we actually have some cool stuff on there. There's a little transactions tab now. We got the probate information and all this stuff on the lien. This is just the lien section. But pretty much just all in here. It's pretty dang cool. It looks like it changed from Donna to Philip Harris. So intra-family transfer, pretty cool. But if I want to comp in here, all I'd have to do is just comp. So let's go here. Oh, Lord. What did I do here? There you go. There you go. So if you go here and search this area, we're just going to start comping it. And so I got to refresh my screen here. Hold on. I think this is the beta one because it's, yeah, this is the beta one. Oh, Lord. I think I didn't reveal anything on here, but we can't show this on here. So let's see here. Just refresh it. There we go. Okay. So, all right. Is this refreshed? Yeah. Okay, cool. I don't think I'm supposed to show. That's like the raw version of it. Okay, whatever. All right. So if we're going to do comps, we're just going to click comparables and we're just going to let them comp. So our said property here, if we just want to comp it, is going to be 2-bedroom, 1 bath, and 1,184 square feet. So that's pretty good. So 2-1, and let's check it out here. So it was built in 1938, which is going to be kind of tough for comps. Again, I'm going to use 1950s comps. Again, be mad at me. I don't really care. And lot size, so pretty cool. Okay, so let's go out here and do this. If this is a 2-1, we're just going to do, we want 2 bedrooms, 2-1s. We just want to look at other 2-1s in the area. Distance 1 mile. I like to do, there's no other 2-1s. Oh man, that's rough.
That's a small place.
That's a small place. So I guess it's the smallest house out of all of these. So if we can't find the same similar better baths, we're going to have to go out here and, yeah, okay. Oh, I see the problem. These are, you just got to do 2. Yeah. Okay. So there's no 2-1s. This is only 2-1 literally within a mile, which is absolutely insane to me. Let's do sales for the past year. These are all 2-2s. You got to be kidding me. All right. So let's do, I'm going to do half a mile just really quick. And we're going to see just a simple snapshot of where the comparables are on this said property right here. And so you can use the same thing for sale. It's just a little more work. But okay, let's share it. So if these properties sold this year for $385 and $270, let's look here. It's about 1,300 square feet. That's within our range. That's not bad. Built in the 60s. Not bad. Let's just use these two for comps. Okay, plus and plus. That gives us an average square feet of 228. Pretty simple, right? Average square feet of those said properties looks a little crazier. Let's do a mile. Let's expand it and see if we can find any similar properties. Let's look at other 2-1s. I don't want to mess with anything that's not a 2-1. So this one was anything low. Okay, these are low square feet. We can look at these two. This one was a 2-2. Not too bad. Let's add these up. Okay. And what we add any more on these?
1.75. Never seen that for bathrooms.
Where? Oh, yeah. I gotta look in that one. I like that one. This is a good 2-2, 2-1. Obviously, you just want to make sure it's single family properties only, but these are all single family properties. Listing status, you can go by MLS data, public records, active solds. You can even go like in the lot sizes, which is cool. Any liens, AC, pools, porches, all that stuff. I mean, we're going to add AC. So let's just, I'm okay with those, right? Selected. Oh, I deselected them. Yeah, whatever. Okay, we're going to add this one. We'll add that one. We'll add this. this and
The
that.
ones are a little more challenging, but there's a lot of demand for them, and they're usually the lowest price points.
Yeah, so let's do.
Doesn't mean you got to live in it.
Get rid of
Most
that
2-1s
line.
wind up being a rental unless it's in a special area.
Okay, cool. So basically, look at the ones I like and the ones I don't like. We're getting an average square foot of these other properties about 1,100 square feet, which is similar to ours. That's awesome. Average AVM, I don't care. Average sales 301. Average square foot's 260. So what I'm going to press here is I can just do it myself. All I can do is multiply 1,184 by our average square feet, which is 260. That comes with an ARV of 307, which is interesting here. So again, is that a little too high? I probably would get rid of these two. I think these are just a little, I always like to get rid of the outliers. That brings us to 225, 1184, 266. I think that's pretty on par. So what I'm going to do here is just click download report. And what it's going to do is just give us an ARV offer comping report. And so AVM is the valuation model that XLeads has. And so it's basically an ARV. It's not ARV perfectly, but it's the valuation model that we have. And basically, when you press download report, you can even send it to a cash buyer. I don't like sending reports to cash buyers, acting like I'm the expert, but it's a good report you can give to other people just to show where you're at on the property. Like my employees can go grab it if they're doing like comping, but this is what the XLeads comp report shows. So this is our subject property with a boat.
Nice.
Big boaters up in Vegas. But basically, yeah, they got lakes. And so 2-1, 1,184 square feet, quarter acre. And it is a corner lot, you have to admit, but it is literally on a road. So I think a kind of a
lot of roads.
Whatever. Wholesale score 732. That's pretty good.
It's going to be in high demand because it's going to be a rental.
Yeah. Well, it's a probate. Yeah. It's a probate. So this is telling you the comparable averages. And then days on market, 171 on average for these. And it's going to give you the subject properties we're comping with. Right? This one's 204 square foot more. This one's less. Compare them here, right? Year built, sold, and get all the features. That's really cool. And it kind of gives you all that information. And boom, you got your comps.
Yeah, a lot of energy on the comp. So guys, that's what I'm saying is I like to use it. I don't know if you can pull up. When you pull up the XLeads, even if you have the basic plan, you can get the XLeads Insights, and it gives you the retail. It just says retail to simplify.
Yeah.
It gives you a wholesale score. Why is that important? I'm not comping that property until I find some sort of sign of motivation, because if not, you're going to be a realtor all day. So if the retail value is 300 and they're telling you need to get it under contract as a wholesale for 210, when the seller comes
so
to
wholesale
number,
score for the basic plans,
go.
171 on this.
So when I'm talking to my sellers, I have this right in front of me, and I gotta be honest with you, this was like some sort of code when I started wholesaling. I'm like, how do I know what to offer them? Like, you just got to buy it less than what a cash buyer pays for it. I go, thank you so much. So if I had this, oh my God, it would have changed my life. So when I talk to him and a seller goes, well, Rick, I have to get $430,000. Listen, I know I'm probably not spending a lot of energy with this seller. I'm probably not even going to I'm just going to dig and see if there's any motivation to move on. Now, if I get to them and they go, listen, Rick, I could probably let it go at like 185, something like that. This is something worth pursuing as long as there's a motivating factor. And it just tells me, do I play ball with this person, or are they wasting my time? See, because you know more than they do. And it's like playing poker. But if someone wants $500,000 for a $150,000 house, I fold and I just move on until something changes. Now, if I get them close, I don't want you to take that wholesale score and go, if I don't get it under that price that Rick said, then it's not a wholesale deal. No, remember, there's more variables that come in. What's the condition of the house? Is it a probate? What's going on? Is there a will? It just tells you, do I move forward with this client or not? Period. Now, the next one is, if you guys have like the X plan or the Pro plan, you can use the Deal Ninja Insight, and it'll give you a range. If it's in good condition, you can do this. If it's fair, you can do this. And if it's poor, you can do this. It helps you structure an offer and get into a negotiation. And finally, the last part, which we're just showing you, is the comp part. That's kind of more of the the realtor-ish. And I'm only going to spend time when I have something either under contract, close to contract, and I have to anticipate what I can sell it for. And I'm still not going to spend a ton of time on it because it's not going to change. You have to fight to get that lowest price. The other way I'd use the comparables for, if you want to do a wholesale deal, maybe you want to partner up with me and Zach or do something like that. And that would be really nice to know what number you get. And even a wholesale deal, we're going below the retail price so we can move it so we don't get hit with a lot of holding costs. So the order is X Leads Insights. Everybody has access to that. And I use that part as your MCTP qualifying because I don't want to waste time with people that just want to sell a house. The next one is if you could do the Deal Ninja AI and the X and Pro plan, it gives you a varying range based on the condition. Once again, you don't need to know everything about real estate. You just need to know if you can play ball with them. And then if you want to go to final dispo and you want to smooth it out, then you go to comp report. Do it in that order, guys. But a lot of you jump to the comping and you spend hours, if not days, doing it. Remember, buy low, sell medium. The comp you guys are looking for up here, and 9 times out of 10, you never even have to sniff that part of it. I want to buy it as low as I can. It doesn't matter how the comp is. And for those of you who try to use comp as like your leveraging tool with a seller, you're missing the biggest point of wholesaling. You have to connect with them. You have to help them solve their problem. And that's what you want to do. That's how you get the best deal. Shoving a comp report in a seller's face is going to actually somewhat discredit you, especially in the beginning. Now, maybe at the very end, but that's about it.
There you go. So if you want to figure out how much to offer the seller, I would just first and foremost, the X Leads one is just going to be the quickest, simple. Like for a beginner, use the light, medium, heavy, and X Leads. Boom, done. If you don't have X Leads, you can use we actually have a free AI one. It's pretty cool. It's just in freeholsing.com. This one's actually more accurate because you put more information in it, but it's not as quick and simple. So it's definitely up to you which one you want to do. If you just go to if you go to freeholsing.com and then you go to ARV offer section and you go to repair costs, the whole offer sheet is on here. Let me show you how that works really quick. So you go to freeholsing.com, ARV, our free ARV MAO calculators right here. Let me actually throw that sucker in the comments. Again, freeholsing.com is going to have it right there. There you go. Let's go to freeholsing.com. So I'm going to put it on the bottom here, freeholsing.com. But basically, you just got to go here and you put your information. And so let's go out here and do the size. So let's say our property is 1,250 square feet. Does the property need a new roof? Yes or no? I would say no, doesn't need a roof. Does the kitchen need updates? Yes. Does it need new flooring? Yes, it needs new flooring. We have 1 bathroom that needs to be renovated and 0 bedrooms. What I'm going to do is add the Zillow link on here. So let's go out here and add the Zillow link. Let's just do a random house in Zillow, Las Vegas. And I'll tell you why we do that. It just needs to add a Zillow link. That one's good enough for me. We're going to paste that property in there. And does that have foundation issues? Yes or no? I'm going to put no and just press generate summary. You press generate summary and it's just going to give you a little prompt to give to AI. Copy it. And they're going to press send to ChatGPT. And it's going to send you out here to ChatGPT. And I'll show you what it looks like here. Send you right here. And you're basically going to ask ChatGPT to give you all of the costs and the repairs and all the stuff. Now, one of my favorite things no one ever does is you can actually, if you went to the property or you have pictures of the house, you can send the photos of the damages to ChatGPT, and ChatGPT will give you a close to a perfect estimate. Like if you take a picture of your kitchen, like if you take 10 pictures of your kitchen, get it to ChatGPT, how much would it cost to update this? It'll give you an amazing repair estimate. If you say, this is how many square feet my house is, here's what my current flooring is, how much would it cost to make the flooring look up to date and modern? It will give you a perfect estimate. Pretty crazy, right?
Nice.
And we're going to get to the point probably next year. I've been experimenting with this. You can just probably upload a video walkthrough of the house and ChatGPT will probably take that information. We're actually looking on X Leads how we can do that, of how, I probably shouldn't say this publicly, but like video walkthrough of the house. And then AI is like, okay, repairs is this. I was like, go on the roof now. But basically, the cool part about AI, it's going to have some crazy changes in the future. And it's going to get really, really scary. I'm not going to lie. But you know, AI can like almost, I think for some like radiology stuff, it can detect cancer in a scan better than most humans, which I think is actually crazy. It can detect it like a year before the human eye can even perceive it. It's gonna perceive if there's a leak or not. Especially with how good camera quality is on phones now, like it's gonna get crazier and crazier. And so ChatGPT, it's gonna tell us how much repairs are. So it says total is going to be around 32 to 65. Let's do $51,000 in repair, 51,000 in repairs. Okay, perfect. And then you can also ask this. Ready? What is the ARV of this house? And give me comps. See what it does. This is like the premium ChatGPT, so it should be a little better. Are these real? Let me look. Let me see. Let's see if these are real properties. Unless it's giving me fake addresses. Oh, wow. That's a real comp.
Yeah, let's get off the internet.
Holy moly. These these XLeads comps are good, but like ChatGPT is coming. It's coming hard. I'm not going to lie. It's pretty scary. June 6th. Look at these. 3, 2, 2, 1. Oh my gosh. It's giving you a whole comp report. So it's telling you ARV is likely 380 on this property. So let's look at what Zillow has this property on. So Zillow has this deal at, it's saying 380. Zillow has it for 325. So again, a little off on the ARV side, but still not terrible. Still not terrible. Okay, not bad, not bad. So it's listed for 320. So we're going to go back here to the repair estimator. Let's see. Give it another year. It'll get even better. Here you go. Okay. So let's say it's 320. Repairs are 50 grand. And this is the free version. Obviously, there's a premium one and XLeads on this, but like literally anyone for free can do this. Generate MAO. Your MAO is 243. Your offer should be 170, which is going to be roughly in line of XLeads. XLeads says offer 179. It's a little more accurate, but again, we're not even using AI like powered stuff here, really like anything good. But basically your MAO is 243 on this deal. I don't think this is too off. I really don't at all. I would say the MAO should be slightly higher maybe, but you're giving it $50,000 of repairs. So probably that is correct. And you have a really sick looking thing. So LAO, explain LAO for a second. So what's that LAO compared to the MAO here?
So we've already been over MAO, right?
Yes.
There's my ADHD kicking in. So if MAO is your maximum allowable offer, we coined the phrase LAO because as a wholesaler, from a realtor's perspective, they always go like high. So a wholesaler has to do the opposite. So the biggest mistake I see most wholesalers make is they go, okay, my MAO is 200. I can't go above 200. And then here's what they do. I'm going to offer 185,750. And so your MAO is here and you offer right below it. Why? Because you want to get a yes and you're scared you're going to get rejected. So here's the question. If your MAO gets rejected, what are you going to do? You're going to go 186, 187, 188. You have no room to negotiate. And honestly, the harder you chase that seller, the worse the outcome is going to be. So we created the LAO, least allowable offer. So say you had a property worth 250 right here. So that's the retail. Instead of you coming in here, I should have brought out the chart today.
Yeah.
I'm going to have you come in down here because let me ask you, is it easier to go up in price? Yes. But the problem is you have to have substantial changes in it. So say the property's worth 220 and I come in at 130. Why? Because it's simple. Do it a little bit above half, 55, something like that. And the reason I do it is, first of all, I'm probably going to get a no. We all agree on that. And then what happens is they're like, why did Rick come in so low? Now, you have to build rapport, you have to connect with them, and they have to trust you because it's going to go a little bit backwards. But my goal is to get a deal and remove as much stress off the negotiation as possible. When you do that, we want our sellers to react. You respond. So when a seller reacts, you go, Rick, that's crazy. I could never sell it for that low. I cannot go below 150. I already spoke this over with my wife. Dude, I just saved you 2 weeks of negotiations. Every one of you are trying to guess what your seller is. Stop guessing. I learned the hard way. I used to ask sellers after I closed. I go, let me ask you, would you have taken like 130 for it? He goes, yeah. I just paid 160. And it happened over and over again. I go, I got to stop trying to guess what they want. So I rather come in low, have them counter. A counter is usually a reaction. And then you got to build it back up and go, I didn't think so. There's all sorts of techniques. We teach it at freewholesaling.com. And think about this. When I did that, instead of me going up here and chasing them, I go down there and they go, uh-oh, I'm going to have to see if Rick will come up to me. So they have to chase you a little bit. I'm looking for signs to reinforce if they're actually motivated to sell the property. Motivated sellers want to get it done. They don't want to give it away. I agree with you on that. But if you chase them, let me tell you what, if it's worth 220 and I offer 185, they're like, my God, this guy's, I would have taken 150. Let me try higher. No, Rick, I can't take less than 210. And so it will give you signs of what's going on. And honestly, I know it's uncomfortable, but if you do the hard up front, it comes much easier to sell your contracts.
I agree 100%. So let's break this down here too. So that's how you figure out what the property is worth on an offer side. So use the MAO calculator, use the X-Leads one. I mean, they're both literally going to be perfect for you. So, I mean, just take the action, guys. That's what I'm saying. So next part here is now we know exactly confidently how much to offer. We're going to start talking to There we go. Back on. Oh, Lord.
Scary.
That was, I don't know why. It did that yesterday too for like 5 minutes. Oh, Lord. Whatever. They ain't going to stop me. Hey, it ain't that easy. So let's keep talking. Let's break this all. So talking to motivated sellers, right? Again. So again, when you talk to motivated sellers, it's not the most complicated thing. You just have to speak to them. Okay. Just speak. That's it. And so what I'm going to tell you is just stop being scared talking to motivated sellers. Be relatable. All right. Don't sound like a salesman and just focus on the script. You're like an actor speaking a script, but you're kind of going from there, right? So what I'm going to tell you is once you find somebody that says, hey, Zach, I'm interested in selling my property, you're only going to ask 4 simple things. MCTP. MCTP. So if someone says, hey, I'm looking to sell my property, all you have to say is, okay, and say MCTP. So MCTP stands for motivation, condition, time frame, and price. And so basically, let's kind of, go over this conversation. So, hey, I'm looking to sell my property. You just say, oh, okay, perfect. Well, can you give me the address, blah, blah, blah. And then you get into M, motivation. Ask them, hey, Mr. Seller, why are you looking at selling the property? C, condition. Can you tell me a little bit more about the property? Right? You want to see if there's any repairs being done or anything like that. And then T is time frame. Mr. Seller, when are you looking to sell the house? And then P is price. What's a good ballpark range you're looking to get rid of or sell the property for? MC, TP. That's the script we always use for motivated sellers to talk to them. And then from there, we're going to go into more of a conversation. So let's repeat after me and go over this. So M, motivation. Hey, Mr. Seller, why are you looking to sell your property? C, condition. Figure out what the property's like entire kind of health is. How's the flooring? AC repairs. You don't have to be someone that's like, oh my gosh, you're kind of going down. You're like a general contractor. Like you don't act like that, right? Just get to the point, go from there. Time frame, when are they looking to sell the property? P, price, what price are they looking to get rid of it for? So again, you sound relatable, you're going to get the results. Now, this is kind of the acquisition section, right? This is when we actually get properties locked up. But this is really when we go from somebody who says, I want to sell, to a signed contract, right? So this is how we acquire contracts to sign and basically buy the property, and we sell them to a cash buyer for a profit. You're not a typical salesperson. Do not act like a sales guy. Okay, that's a terrible, terrible idea. You're just, I say, a mere qualifier. Like you're a guide. All right, you're guiding them through the process. You're qualifying to see if they really fit. You're not trying to close somebody. A lot of people are really getting this closing thing. Like you should close, the best acquisitions guy. Like you're just guiding them. I always say marketing is the most important one, but that's just me. That's how I go. And then if you're really worried about what to say, objections, to a point at freelisting.com, we teach you how to do it. And so really stop freaking out. Now, you were just speaking to sellers. You're qualifying. Honestly, most of qualifying is asking questions, and we just give them an offer to buy their house. You don't sell. You're a guide through this entire process. The most stressful part in wholesaling real estate that I've always found is people turn wholesaling into this high pressure stakes type thing. Mm-hmm. You can walk away from a deal, no problem. You can just walk away. You can always go back and get it, like CRM style. The thing about it is you just have to speak to the seller like a regular person. And you're going to stop being all freaked out and stressed out. Some people do that. They get all stressed out. Don't be nervous, guys. Yeah. And so what is the difference between acquiring contracts and marketing? Again, marketing is about finding people who want to sell. Acquisitions is the art of getting signed contracts from motivated sellers. So let's break down how to get the contract signed. First, before we get the contract signed, we have to know what is a motivated seller. We do not give offers. Actually, repeat after me. We do not give offers to people that don't want offers. We don't give offers to people that don't need offers. We don't give offers to people that are not motivated sellers. And so what is a motivated seller? Let's break this all down. So a motivated seller is somebody who wants to sell the property due to a circumstance or what we call a, quote, motivating factor. So somebody is going through a divorce, foreclosure, code violation. They're sick of the upkeep, tired landlords. You name it. We talk about the sucker all day, right? But we only do give offers to motivated sellers. And so the conversation with the motivated seller is going to be all about confidence. Confidence is the high level of belief in what you are talking about and the things you do. And so if you want to have confidence, you want to feel confident when talking to a motivated seller, you have to be high on the belief that you know what you're talking about. Believe in yourself when you ask them, hey, Mr. Seller, are you interested in selling the property? When you don't believe what you say, you're going to sound nervous because you're internally lying to yourself because you don't believe in when you don't believe in what you're doing and you say you're doing, like you're going to start lying. When you start lying, you start giving verbal cues. You start looking up, you start saying, you start getting shaky. You start speaking too fast. When you're calm and chill, like you're not lying, right? You're not freaking out over this. And so have confidence, believe in the words you say. And one of the biggest problems I see with confidence is you don't believe in the things you say, or you don't even know who you are and all these things. And so how do you gain the most confidence? There are 3 statements that I found in talking to motivated sellers that if you know these internally, you're not going to be nervous. You may be like, Zach, what are you talking about? Let me tell you. Number 1, if you know who you are. That sounds pretty dumb. But if a motivated seller asks who you are and you don't know how to answer it, you're going to be like a blobbing mess. And so what you're going to do is somebody asks you who you are, write it down. My name is Zach Ginn, and me and my partners are looking to buy some houses in the area for cash. That is literally who you are. Done. If some people can't even answer that question getting started in wholesaling. It's crazy. Answer it. Next question. What do you want? What do you want? I want to buy some houses in the area for cash in the city. Okay. Now the next one is why do you want to do it? If you don't answer that one, I've seen a lot of people get in trouble on this one. Why am I looking to buy properties? Me and my partner, we're looking to buy properties for rentals. Sometimes we buy it. Sometimes we flip it, right? Really depends on the type of property. So let's go over this one more time. Who you are, what do you want, and why do you want it? That is going to be your most stressful questions you're ever going to get. And the seller doesn't even have to ask those questions, but if you know them already, you're going to be way less nervous. It's crazy. So many people get so stressed. It drives me nuts. But like, if you know those 3 questions, you're already going to start. You're going to sound so much more confident. And so 80% of your acquisitions is listening. The other 20% is asking, basically talking, and you're asking the questions. And so in a conversation, there's something called the 80-20 rule. And what this 80-20 rule basically states is if you are having a conversation, a full 100% conversation, 80% of the entire conversation is straight up going to be them speaking. 20% is going to be you talking. And then everyone's like, well, what do I say during the 20%? Well, what you say during the 20% are questions. And like that's how the conversation goes, right?
Yeah, you guys got to understand, God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth. Like you don't need somebody telling you the obvious. Yeah. The real reason why you do it, because if we have to solve a problem and you're going to be a guide, because there's no magical phrase to make somebody sell you their house. Sorry. Realtors can do it for listings, but we actually have to buy it. So if there was a magical phrase, you're just going to improve your closing ratio by 30%, I'd give it to you. I've tried every one. It doesn't work. What I find works is, number 1, I find most people when talking to sellers, when they get nervous, what do? They talk more. And if you talk too much, you're going to have to stick to that 80-20 rule. You know why? The only way to solve someone's problem is to listen. They give you all the clues. You just got to ask the right questions. Think about how a reporter, when they put somebody in a corner and they just kind of keep going at it. Now you can't attack, but it's got to be questions to get answers. And you can probe it. How did it make you feel? Remember, I want to get the emotion. I want to get the reaction out of them. But you have to hear what your sellers have to say. Otherwise, you're guessing how to solve their problem. So if you can't guess what they want to sell it for, stop guessing on how to solve their problem. Just because someone's in foreclosure, you got to find the story behind it, and they will give you the clues on how to solve the problem. But the only way you can do is by listening. So if you talk too much because you're nervous, number 1, recognize it, practice it, and go, hey, Rick told me 80-20, 80-20, 80-20. You're 20, they're 80. If you're doing it the other way around, fix it now. The only way to solve a problem is take the clues that your prospect, your seller gives to you. And that's how we operate as a guide. Salespeople just keep pushing and pushing and pushing. Remember, we're helping people that need to sell their house. A salesperson helps people that want something. I want a Lamborghini. Convince me why I need it. Why do I need a Lamborghini over a Honda Civic? Because it's going to make you feel good. We're 9 times out of 10, guys, we're selling certainty. Selling, we're giving. We're not selling, we're giving it. You've got to listen. They'll give you all the clues. You just got to harvest it from them. If you do all the talking, you can't solve the problem.
Oh yeah. There we go. So that is exactly, the kind of the conversation guide. What I'll tell you is you should avoid at all costs bad words when talking to sellers. I like to say avoid the word investor. I call it the I word. Avoid the C word. I call that contract. I don't like to say the S word, which is sign. Remember, I don't really like to even say any real estate lingo to motivate. So, yeah, they call them trigger words. But you don't want to say, oh, I'm an investor. Investor still has a bad connotation. Don't say the word contract. Say the word agreement. So I would replace investor with buyer. Hey, I'm a cash buyer. I'm buying houses for cash. Contract, change that with agreement. Sign, I like to use autograph. And then any of the real estate lingo, I don't even use that. When you talk to a seller that says you're wrong about how much you want, let me show you the comps, the ARV, and oh man,
your only lever then is price. Once you go to the comp, you're stuck. Now, occasionally you can rationalize. I mostly find it with like landlords you have to do it with, but individual homeowners, you throwing a comp, like you're now in realtor mode. The comps say, listen, there's nicer ways to say it. If you're using the word comp and showing a report, you're not wholesaling. It's just the truth. It doesn't mean you don't know the numbers. It's how you communicate back to them, because you can disrespect them. You can get upset with them. If you do that, they're not going to trust you. They have no confidence in you, and they're going to go to the next person. They feel that doesn't insult them. Listen, the bottom line, people's personal houses, they take it very personally, the amount they think it's worth. And if you go, hey, you're wrong. Because when you do comps, you're telling them they're wrong. So I don't use comp unless I have to I'm only dealing with an analytical person. And honestly, those have a much lower probability of getting a great wholesale deal.
Oh yeah. I'm telling you right now. No, There we go. There we go. We kind of had some storm issues with this internet, but hey, whatever. No big deal. We'll get this. We can edit this on YouTube now, so I think there's no problem there. But okay, let's keep talking. So again, when talking to motivated sellers, very important to build that rapport, but that rapport is obviously going to come here from actually going out here and knowing what to say. And so we're not salespeople. Just understand that. Okay. So believe who you are. So again, who you are, what do you want, and why do you want it? So go and listen and you'll get. Next part here is tone and tonality. Okay. So how you say words is almost as important as what you say. Have a smile and match the seller's energy. And so some things I do to build trust with a motivated seller is going to be what I call the Ford method. Ford stands for talk about their family, occupation, recreation, and dreams. So you can add some humor if you're a funny guy. Let the seller speak mostly. Care about the seller, their needs, and be as authentic as you can. Now, before we give the offer, this is a must. Okay? We must condition the seller. No, how many times I have said this. For Wholesaling.com, this is a blatant rule. But if somebody says, I'm interested in selling my property, you talk about it, you do not give somebody an offer just off the bat. Would you take $300,000 for it? The problem with wholesaling is when you spell out an offer, they can hit you with the worst possible thing. So a lot of people, let's go back to high school for a second. Okay. Let's go back when we all had a little more hair and we were 50 pounds lighter. And remember Susie Q was the best girl in school and you want to ask her out to prom. A lot of people think back then in high school, the worst thing that could ever happen is Susie Q says, ew, no. And then you trip on some mud and then, everyone in school is laughing, say, ha, 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 ha. A lot of people think that's the worst possible thing. It's like, oh, wow, you got rejected. Like, how is that like embarrassing? Like, at least you asked. Better than not asking, right? No, the worst possible thing is Susie Q. You ask her to prom and she says, maybe. What I'm going to do is I'm going to look for somebody better than you. And if I can't find them, then I'll go with you. That's the worst thing Susie Q can tell you.
The friend zone.
It's worse than the friend zone. Okay. It's bad.
Yeah. So if you ever went through junior high or anything like that in high school, it's just, you got checked and basically, let me see if somebody better comes along. And if they don't, I'll consider you, Rick. And I got to tell you, man, they do the same. The same thing happens in wholesaling. I call it kind of the friend zone, but it's like,
hey, Susie, did you make your decision yet? No. Okay. I'll come back in a month. And then you're pathetic.
Or maybe you do the Sadie Hawkins dance and you're asking the girl, you got it all wrong there. So it's, that's when the girl's supposed to ask the guy and you do it the other way. What I'm telling you is you can't sit in that zone. And maybe is you're being optioned and it's the worst decision and it will torture you. And I spent a lot of time in wholesaling. I go, man, how can we like eliminate this? And so that's how we came up with preconditioning. And by the way, a lot of industries do it. You have to do it's technically called framing. And the idea is you hold people to their word. So if you have a one-on-one conversation with someone and you have an agreement, most people won't break it. Also, it snuffs out people just kind of wasting your time. Why go through an entire presentation of an offer if they're not really looking to sell the house? So once again, it re-verifies motivation, make sure you have the right decision makers, and get you a bottom line answer. And I'm here to tell you guys, no is not the worst case scenario. I like when people give me definitive answers. You ever grew up around that parent goes, we'll see, maybe? Like, we'll see is like code for, I'm never going to do it, but I'm not going to tell you. That's like small house. What a realtor say? It's cute. It's a cute house. Oh, it's tiny. So anyways, you want to do that preconditioning to avoid being caught in the friend zone, because they're never going to make a decision and they're going to option you forever and they're going to waste a lot of time and you won't make any money. I'd rather you get a no so you can move on to the next person.
Exactly. And so what you should know about this is you can stop somebody from saying maybe. You can force them to make a decision. And when you force them, most of the time they're going to say yes when you force them.
Forcing them, you're just asking.
You're forcing them to make a yes or no decision.
You're leveraging them if they decide to back out on their agreement at the end. You remember we had an agreement up front that you
yeah.
Yes or no decision.
You're basically forced to make an agreement.
You're right. What are they going to do? No, that never happened. No, they're going to honor their word. It's just usually two people in the conversation.
Exactly. So the big question Daniel asks, how do you do it? I'll show you exactly how you do it. So how you do it is you ask them this question. Before I come and see the house, I don't want to waste your time or my time. And I know you're very busy. I know I'm very busy. So what I do is I just come out, I look at the house once, and that's all we do. So I just want to make sure before I come out and see the house, are you ready to make a yes or no decision on selling it when I come by tomorrow? Simple as that. Again, we can read it kind of. I don't like going word for word on a script with this.
Vary that a little bit, spin on it, but like I let them know I'm okay with a no decision. I'm okay with a no decision.
So we both do it a little differently, and we're getting the camera redone, but we're buying like 2 more mics, by the way. But
yeah, everything.
How do you go about the conditioning? Because it's a little different than me, but it's the same thing.
It's got to be natural.
What's yours?
Mr. Stellar, I tell you what. At the end of our meeting, we're going to sit down and have a conversation, and you have a decision to make. You either, hey, Rick, I love your offer. It's great. It's a hard yes, and I want to work with you. Or Rick, you know what? That doesn't work for me, and I'm just going to pass, and I'm going to give you a no. But either way, do we agree to take a yes or no decision? Don't worry. No matter what, I'm going to help you sell your house regardless of what answer. Can we agree on that? And I wait. And if they go, what do you mean? I go, honestly, I just need us to have a conversation and an outcome. And that's it. And I'm just trying to say, and by most people saying this, guys, when you tell them you have the power to say yes or no, what I'm doing is taking away that BS answer in the middle. I got to think about it. I got to bring my wife in. Now, I'm okay. I'm okay giving someone time. Will it work 100% of the time? I didn't say it would. But it will get rid of all those tire kickers, all the people not interested in selling. And when someone gets pressed on it and they go, well, maybe, I go, Tom, listen, man to man, we had an agreement and you agreed you give me a yes or no decision. I don't know what maybe is. Yeah, you're right. You are a man of your word, right, Tom? And that's it. I can now leverage to go back and get that yes or no. You're better off that way. And if you don't, listen, guys, the honest answer to maybe it's a cop-out. If something better comes along, I'll take it. But if not, I'll wait 2 weeks and give you an answer. I don't want that. I want a decision. I want to help them out. Remember, I listen to all their problems. I tell them, I listen to it, I collect it, and then I present a solution. And then the idea is cater it. We negotiate back and forth. But I'm okay with a yes or no. And maybe, guys, you can't go anywhere with it. And you get lost. And most of you will frolic when you get a maybe because you don't know, like, what's the problem? What am I missing? And it's hard to solve the seller's problem with a maybe. So if you do the preconditioning, it just frames the conversation that they will ask you better questions when it comes to negotiating and the offer, the back and forth. But if they plan on giving you a maybe up front, which most people do, your job's to snuff it out and squash it before it even comes in existence in your negotiations.
Oh, yeah, I agree 100% here. And so what we need to do is condition them. Do not get, because you sound, I hate to say, you sound like an idiot when you do it. And some people don't condition and they close and make millions of dollars. That's fine. That's not how we do it. Think about this. Hey, Rick, would you take $300,000 for your house? Maybe. Okay. I'll see you tomorrow. You know, and then do this. Hey, Rick, what about my offer? Oh, you keep thinking about it? Okay. Hey, Rick, are you going to think about that offer?
And you can't go precondition them after it. It's over. You missed your opportunity.
And then you look like a clown because you just keep, oh, okay, I'll keep waiting for you. Like, it's insane. And once you give that offer, you can't ungive it. I mean, if you have some experience in wholesaling, tell me if you know this. Have you ever gotten out here given an offer and the seller just ghosts you immediately? Because you gave out that leverage. The leverage you have is the offer. The leverage they have is the acceptance of the offer. they want something from you, the offer, and they don't like the offer, they're not going to talk to you. And so you want to become better at a closing, which is still cliche, condition your sellers. Now, here's the appointment. So either you see the seller at the house or you do it over the phone with virtual wholesaling. You're going to walk around the house. You're going to point out some things. I mean, how I like to describe it, and I know this sounds crazy, is when you're doing an appointment with a motivated seller, treat it like you were buying a car. And I'm like, what do you mean? Okay. When I go, if I'm looking to buy a car, let's say I want to buy like a 5.0 Chevy Mustang, whatever, right? Right? Whatever. Like,
Chevy Mustang.
Sorry, Ford Mustang. Ford Mustang. I'm not into muscle cars too much. But okay, a Ford Mustang 5.0, you know.
Rack top down?
Yeah, definitely. Blue. Be sick. And basically, no, we're not going to ice ice baby right now. But basically, when you go and try to buy a car, I'm not saying for like the guys and gals that are into cars. I'm just like, if you're just looking to buy a car from someone, are you going to automatically be like, is this naturally aspirated V6 engine or is this a V8? And how many liters? Okay. All right. So it's not naturally, but is there a supercharger on? And then like you get in the whole, like, how where's the rims on it? What's the suspension system on this thing? Okay. Well, and then you just get in the whole like expertise about how engines, like, no, you're like, okay, this is your car. Perfect. Well, can I test drive it? Is that a dent or not? I don't know. Like, for the average Joe, like, you're not the car expert, right? You're not into like, turbocharged engines, unturbocharged engine. Do we jailbreak the Hellcat? Like, a lot of people are into all that stuff, right? Is the badge correct on that? With it, you don't get in the whole like thing, right? Some guys really into cars, sure, but like you're kind of looking at the car, you're saying, oh, does it work? How many miles are on? Like general stuff everyone kind of knows. When you go and see the house, you are not going to act like you are Mr. Expert on houses or flipping a house or anything and stuff like that. You do not go in there. I see guys out here going with tape measures and rulers, and they're trying to get in the air ducts, and they go nuts, and they're standing on countertops inspecting the top of the kitchen counters, and they go, guys, no. You're just going to be a regular guy looking to buy a house. And that's what you've always done that too.
Yeah. Remember, the real estate is just the mathematical problem, which there's software. You can do a calculation. The real value in a wholesaler, number one, is finding the deal. That's to me the hardest part. The marketing. Then number two is getting the story behind the real estate. Why is it vacant? Why are you in pre-foreclosure? I lost my job. My grandma passed away. I got to figure out how to get this house sold. I can't afford to have it. And then once you do that, spend most of your time focusing on the person. But a lot of pretend wholesalers focus on the house. Spend 80% of your time on the person, 20% on the house. You can apply the same 80-20 rule, because the best deals are when you focus on solving the person's problem. Remember, the real estate is just the symptom of the problems in their life. Give them certainty, solve the problem. You are going to be the buyer of the house.
Oh yeah. And so stop pretending to be like the absolute expert on everything. Just talk about more about the house and everything like that. Okay. And if you're not the expert on how Ford Mustangs work or Chevy Camaros or Corvettes, like, just be like, hey, like, it's a nice car. How it goes pretty dang fast. How many miles are on it? Like, just be natural, but talk more about the person than anything else. Build rapport and get to the closing line. And once you're at the offer, or you can even do it over the phone, that's fine too. Just, hey, talk about it. I'll tell you this though, before you give an offer, make sure you condition them. Over the phone, they want an offer, great. Condition them over. You could call them the first time, right? You can call them the first time and give them an offer virtually. Make sure they're conditioned. Once they're conditioned right there, you're going to start giving some low balls, and you can do some offers. Now, the first offer we like to do is what I call the standard low ball offer. This is just when you offer to the motivated seller a standard low ball. So a low ball is something like, hey, Mr. Seller, would you take $200,000 for the house? It's classic. It's been done before. Not terrible. What I prefer, okay, is what I call a reverse price anchor. Now, this is like price anchoring, but done in a different way. So the way that, Rick obviously always does his price anchors, like, well, in the perfect world, what would you take for the house? And they say, I don't know. Well, in the perfect world for me, I'd buy it for like 100 grand. And that's not like, how do I say this, right? It's like, it's not offering, but like you're just, oh, that's just me in a perfect world. I mean, you've used the perfect world one like, 20 years. So like, just look at price anchoring. It's been done in every industry, right? It's mostly in car sales, but like you can do that pretty simple. I like to reverse price anchor. I'm like, hey, I talked to my partner Rick, who actually I came up with this because I actually used to talk to him before I went to every appointment and be like, hey, like we're working together. Like, what would you offer this? And like 130. I'm like, okay, I'll tell my partner Rick, you want to buy this thing for 110. It's just a price anchoring, but you're just reverse it and you putting it on you.
It's just an easier way to get an outcome to a negotiation. Is it a tactic? Yeah, but like all conversations are, the goal is to get to a means to the end. We're trying to create a win-win situation. I need to buy it for a certain price. You need to sell it. Can we meet together? That's the goal.
Exactly. And the reason why I like doing the reverse price anchor than a regular price anchor is because if you do the price anchor, oh, in an ideal world, I'll buy this for 100 grand. If you don't have rapport with somebody and you do a price anchor, they're going to kick you out of the house. With a reverse price anchor, they won't ever kick you out of the house because you blame Rick on it, but you still keep yourself as the decision maker. Now, the next one here is the volley method. Rick's the best at it. Explain the volley method here.
So I'm going to go through this quick, but a volley method, think about a volleyball game. The ball has to go back and forth, right? When they hit it, you don't hit it back, you kind of lose. So what we want to do is put it over. Obviously, I'm going to take a shot right off the bow and, you know, what do you need? What do you need to move on from this property? Some people go, I don't know what you mean. You're the expert. You tell me what you think. So they volleyed it back to Reed. So I serve them, they serve it back. I go, listen, seller, I know you don't know, but if you did know, what would you need to get rid of this house? Boom, I served it back. Now they're getting a little annoyed and they might go, okay, I don't answer it until they talk back to me. It pushes the pressure back every time you serve it back. And maybe they go, Rick, I don't know. I mean, I guess I thought about it, but do you have a recommendation? Listen, I know you don't know. John, why don't we just do a ballpark? What do you think that number would be? I served it again. After you volley 2 times and definitely by the 3rd time, this is a skill set, guys. And it's really simple. You actually just rephrase the question and serve it back. Everybody does it to you. You just don't understand it. When you volley it, you put pressure. After a while, they'll get a little bit annoyed with you, but you'll get a reaction. And when you get a reaction, you get to the truth and you can move forward. But if you sit there and don't answer it, this is where we look like idiots. And just use the volley back and forth. And remember, you can just rephrase the word. I go, I know you don't know, but if you did know, what would that number be? Do you know, I didn't really say anything. I just said, hey, here, you serve it back. I gave a entire presentation. Let's get to a number. The volley method works. But remember, you've got to move. The only way this works is you have to practice. Do not practice while you're working with a seller because the ball's going to hit the ground and then the game's over once the ball hits the ground. If you can volley and keep it going, you ever watch an intense tennis match or a volleyball match or a ping pong? It's the same thing. You just keep the words moving. Here. After 3 times, they're going to give you an answer. You might not like it, but you at least start a negotiation.
I agree. So the volley method works really good. So that's how you go out here and know exactly how much to offer. Seller first method, that's just when you get the price out of the seller first. It's pretty simple. But like that's like the volley, but they actually give you the offer. That works pretty dang good too. And then basically once they agree on a price, you take lots of pictures. You explain what the entire process is going forward, how you and your partner are going to swing by one more time to look at it, your cash buyer. Tell them again, no changes to the agreement are going to be happening. And once more, you close it on the day of the closing. Now, if you're doing this virtually, again, no appointment, you're still going to condition them. You're just going to go out here and talk about the house. You can get pictures of the house. And if you can, you know, after the contract's signed, you go get pictures of the house, right? You don't need to get pictures of the house really before the contract signed. I like to get it signed and then look at the picture.
Yeah,
That's
don't waste time.
Yeah, don't waste time. But basically what I like to do is, you know, what we do is like, why don't you come by the house? I always say, well, what we do is we write up an agreement first to buy it. Then our partners go out and confirm the condition. Same as you said, right? It's the same thing as like, it's basically the same thing to a point of if you're going to go by the house, right? We're just going to write the agreement first and then we can confirm the condition. Same thing that you want, Like, you want us to go out here and see it? Well, we're going to do it. We're just going to do it after the agreement's signed so we don't waste our time, right? Done from there. Then you're going to stay on the phone after they say, yes, I accept your offer. Don't get off the phone. Stay on the phone, get it e-signed, and then boom, you're good to go. Now, e-signatures, all that stuff's in freelancer.com. Everyone asks who I use for e-signing. Well, DocuSign's like 30, 40 bucks a month. I use XLeads. XLeads has e-signing included for free. So it's also legally enforceable, has an IP address certificate, and it's pretty much as legally enforceable as you can. Just go out here and use XLeads. Now, once you lock up the deal, we got to go sell the deal. So that's how we find cash buyers. This is even easier. Dispositions is by far the easiest process of this. You just sell a good deal to a cash buyer. Simple as that. So again, what is a cash buyer? A cash buyer is a landlord or a house flipper. Remember, you might be like, well, what do you mean by that? Well, a landlord, the whole entire goal for a landlord is to rent out the property for a profit. A house flipper, their entire goal is to buy the house and resell it for a profit. Simple as that. Those are your only two types of cash buyers we deal with. So if you have no money, how do you find cash buyers? A lot of pretty simple ways. If you have no money, go to Zillow, go to the for rent section and call people up. So what I like to do is I like to go to Zillow. I like to go to for rents. I like to call somebody on the for rent up, usually like a person, not like a company. No realtors, anything like that. No management company, just an actual person. And just call them up and say, hey, is this John? Yes, this is John. And be like, hey, I see you're listing here on 123 Main Avenue. I'm not looking to rent it out. I'm actually a wholesaler. And I just got a property locked up across the street from you. Are you looking to buy any more rentals? Simple. You don't want to complicate it. And that's my favorite way to find cash buyers with no money at all. JV with somebody. Again, we JV. Jason in here JVs, right? If you have a deal in South Carolina, there's plenty of people with buyers. You can JV 50-50. We have joint venture agreements. That's just basically what JV is, again, right? Is it's going to be a agreement to split the assignment fee. And that's pretty simple. Facebook groups, that's a great way. We actually have our ad copy inside of freelancer.com way to post in Facebook groups to actually go find cash buyers. Realtors are a great way to find cash buyers. Make sure the realtors get paid. Or you can do what I call bandit buyers, which sounds a little nasty, but it's pretty cool. So what I like to do is I like to go to Facebook groups. I like to find people posting on their phone like, oh, bro, just made 30 grand. Go buy my course. And like they're brand new. And then they had the address on the basically check, right? And I like to go on the check, go to the address, and it's like the assignment fee for 1234 Main Avenue. I like to go next leads, or I can go to public records, look up 123 Main Avenue, and guess what you do? Find who's the buyer on record. And it said JC, Home Rentals. Boom. I'm just going to call JC Home Rentals up, and boom, now I just stole his deal. Stole his buyer, technically. It's called bandit buyers. It is completely free. It's completely legal. It's ethical, in my opinion. If someone's going to brag about they just hold, and you're going to find this, people on the internet love to brag. They love to flex. They're always trying to sell some program or whatever. And there's no problem selling a program, like whatever. I don't care anymore. But you remember, I just wholesaled this property, 561 Main Avenue, for $50,000. Okay. I have to look up the address. I see who the buyer is. I call the buyer up. Boom. Now I have a new cash buyer. Guess what happens when the guy's bragging about his address, though? He's going to call that buyer up, say, hey, I got a great deal. Dude, like, I've had 30 wholesalers send me deals. I can't buy any more deals from you. These guys send me better deals. And then that guy's lost his buyer. Dang. I guess posting my address has actually ruined my cash buyers. Here's the thing. Everyone loves to brag. There used to be a whole thing in the wholesaling industry like 2 years ago where if you weren't posting every address you did a deal on, you were fake. And I got exposed a couple times. Zach doesn't post 100 properties a day. Okay, how about this? How about you? It's literally the same thing as just giving away your buyer's list. Hey, can you give me your buyer's list on your cash buyer? No, I'll never give you my cash buyer's list, but you'll give people the address you've wholesaled. That's the same thing. You can literally just look it up, right?
Guys, the internet feeds the ego. If you want to feed your bank account, kill your ego. Your ego, all I do is I'm going to be honest, I take advantage of all wholesalers that brag on the internet.
I found my best buyers doing that.
So guys, I always told you got to kill your ego. Your ego is a short-term dopamine rush. That's great. You flexed on the internet. I'm going to fill my bank account with your stupidity, and you're going to learn a lesson. So we've learned our lessons. We understand how it works. I'm just telling you, and it's endless. I could tell, I could just send out a public service message. Today, I found at least a dozen. Here we go. I can go simply into XLeads. I can reverse engineer it. I have it. It's perfectly legal. If you're that stupid, I'm going to take advantage of you. We do the same thing with bandit comments. The same thing. You're going to pay a company to run the ads, 10,000. Oh, you're too big to deal with the comments. I'll take the comments for free. I get accused all the time, Rick, you're stealing from me. I go, no, you just don't understand how guerrilla marketing works.
No. I always say this when somebody gets mad when I do that. I say, is there a comment section? Yes. Well, then just
Comment.
They left the comment section there on purpose. I'm going to use it. And guess what? If you're offended that I'm leaving comments, then turn comments off.
Or you can delete them. You have the full power. So just figure it out, man.
People are crazy.
Guys, it's all fair in marketing. Who's ever the best at marketing wins. That's why me and Zach are so good at this.
You got to be at least good enough to close a seller. But like,
I agree, but if you can't get the marketing,
usually who's ever best in marketing wins. What's my favorite paid ways? I just use XLeads. Again, I'm not going to do a whole 3-hour XLeads dispo tutorial, but you just go inside of XLeads, find your cash buyers, and then you can find the top flippers and landlords in the area. You can find people that are buying properties for cash, call them up, all skip traced. You can email blast buyers, you can text blast buyers. XLeads is my favorite disposition software. It's a software for skip tracing, finding leads, your CRM, e-sign, it's literally everything. But yeah, XLeads just has all the dispo for you. Now, again, my cash buyer process is pretty dang simple. Where's the stuff? Oh, wow. Oh, that's for the whiteboard. Oh, yeah. Okay, so my cash buyer process is pretty dang simple. So again, it is about 5 steps pretty much. So again, you find a buyer, you qualify the buyer, you send the info to the buyer, you walk them through, they close. I literally from the top of my head, I know exactly what it is. It's stupid simple.
Yeah, it's the easiest process, and we do have all the details at freewholesaling.com.
Yeah. Well, how do you qualify a cash buyer? If you had 5 minutes to figure out if your cash buyer is legit or not, how would you do it?
Well, I would go to XLeads. That's number
qualify.
one. Number one is you just verify. Number one, if you are a cash buyer, I'm going to ask for a proof of funds. Not everyone's going to give it the upfront. You got to have a deal for that. Number two, I'm going to give me the last 3 properties you bought in the areas in the price range. It's complicated. No, it's not. Give me the address. Guys, everyone says they're a cash buyer. Everybody says they're a motivated seller. You have to separate yourself from them. You got to ask hard questions. And the longer the story, the worse cash buyer they are. So like mine's not complicated. Show me you got money. Show me the decision maker. Show me proof that you're actively active in the market. Here's the truth, guys. You don't want that first-time cash buyer. They're an absolute nightmare. And if they go, hey, it's complicated. It's my partner. I bought it in a trust. What's the name of the trust? How long ago did you buy it? And this is my favorite part of XLeads. Like, I don't even have to do the vetting process because it does it for me. I don't even listen to the lies anymore. Before I used to have to. And I just go through it. And then I simply ask them, hey, are you familiar with assignment of contract? Shut my mouth, just like I kind of do with the title company. And if they go, what? Hey, listen, let me know when you're serious. Give me a call back. And I move on. Like, I'm not messing with it. And I go, listen, you're looking to move quick. Yeah. How quick do you usually we're 7 to 10 days. And I listen to the response. Oh, no. I need 45 days. That's not a cash buyer, guys. Cash buyers move usually within 2 weeks, period. Why? There's no inspection. They've gotten through that. There's no financing contingencies. Ask the hard questions, but softwares like XLeads solves this problem for you. That's why I'm so excited about it. It saves you a ton of time, and you don't have to go through the usual conversations I had to my entire career.
Exactly. So again, you just got to remember dispo, make it pretty dang simple. And so that is how you dispo a property. And so the questions everyone's been asking is, okay, well, what's my action plan? So let's break down the 30-day wholesaling real estate challenge, our 30-day wholesaling real estate challenge of the 3 types of action plans. And so first and foremost, before I get into it, there's going to be 3 avatars here. Okay. First one, method 1. Are you someone with a $0 budget, but you can wholesale locally in your market? If that is you, comment below. The next type of person that we are going to give an action plan for is somebody that is virtually wholesaling with a $0 budget. If that is you, comment below. Then the third person is going to be somebody, and guys, there's no right answer. You can do whatever you want, is someone who is going to probably spend a little bit of money. They want the highest chance of success. They want to add a bunch of volume in. Let me know in the comments which one you want to be, okay? Let me know which one you are, and whatever the most popular one is, we're going to leave that for last, okay? So let me know in the comments, who are you? Are you going to be somebody that is going to be in person, no money, virtual, no money, or you're just trying to do method 3? Method 1, 2, or 3. Who we got? We got Diedrich's method 2, Marshan number 3, Veronica's method 3, Keisha method 2, method 3 from Will, Veronica 3. I'd like to see it. See where everyone's doing. 2, Matt's doing method 3, Drift 2. So we got a lot of virtual no money. That's interesting. Method 1, in-person no money. No, there's no problem if you want to be 1 or 2 or 3. I got no issue. We're slightly got to look a little bit differently. Again, so remember, method 1 and 2 is going to take probably a lot more time, but method 3 is going to be less time, a little more money, but still some time you got to put in. Okay, we got 2, 3, 1, unless I suggest I reverse. Henry, start with 1, transition to 2. That's perfectly fine. I mean, if you're Henry, what market are you in? That I'd be more curious what market you're in. Method 1 for press pound. I love to see it. 2 or 3, I'm debating. Trade, if you're debating, just do 2 then. I mean, don't spend any money. I got no problem. Then get a deal, then get X leads. Let's see here. Daniel, there's no number before. But hey, 3 virtually. Okay, so we got some people who are ready to go. So let's end this challenge with a bang. Let's break down exactly our action plan. Now, I want to make this very, very clear. The action plan I give to everyone here is non-negotiable. Do you understand that? No, oh, well, actually, can we replace this with this? Because no! Not negotiable to have success. So let's break this all down. So the first one is going to be method 1, which is our in-person $0 budget. So if you have no money and you have some like time and you're doing this in person, let's talk about it. So step 1, okay, we're going to go out here and we are going to find the right wholesaling market. Okay, we're going to find the right market. Henry, let me know what market you live in or where you're wholesaling. I need to know that, Henry, to give you some good advice here. But find the right wholesaling real estate market. Okay, if you're in it, you're good to go. Step 2, we're going to find a good title company or closing attorney. Boom. You should be at freeholding.com, by the way, but whatever. That'll tell you all the answers. And then step 3, we're going to start by finding 5 qualified cash buyers. So a lot of debate on this method, if you should find buyers upfront or not. I've been thinking about it. And honestly, at this point, a lot of you guys need some confidence starting out that, hey, I can buy your property for cash. I'm like, well, give me proof of funds or whatever. Like, you're scared someone's going to say that. Well, you know, my cash buyer is Rick, and him and I, here's 7 properties he bought for cash last month. You're going to have confidence that you and your partner, Rick, together as a partner, you got plenty of confidence to buy it, right? You got the moolah. You got the motion to go out here and do it. So if somebody asks you, if you're legit or not, like you and your partner are legit, yes, you're cash buyer, done. You're going to feel confident. So we're going to do step 3, find 5 qualified cash buyers. Then from there, step 4, we're going to pull 2 government lists, at least 500 each. That's going to be about 1,000 altogether. Pull about 1,000 of a government list, code violations, probates, I don't care, liens, whatever you want. It cannot be from a software. It has to be straight from the county source. And then from there, if you're in person, I'm going to tell you right now, pull 100 drawing for dollars leads a week. I know that's a little much. Not really. I mean, that's what, 17, 16, 17 a day? More or less. Let's do 100 divided by 7. Let's see here. Let's do 100 divided by 6. It's about 14.2 a day. That's not bad. That guys, I don't think I'm killing you here. Okay. So pull 100 drawing for dollars leads a week. And then from there, you're going to skip trace all 1,100 records on cyber background checks or TruePeopleSearch.com. What I'd prefer you do is go inside of ZachDiscord.com, go inside of Wholesaling.com, and just ask anybody who has the X plan on X leads if they have any extra skip traces. Be like a panhandler for skip tracing. Be like the homeless guy on the street for skip tracing. What I mean by this is if you have the X plan on X leads, you get 60,000 skip traces a month. And it resets on the end of the billing cycle. So if you bought X leads July 1st, that means on August 1st, you reset your limit. So that means on July 31st, if you did 20,000 skip traces, you have 40,000 skip traces the next day. If you don't use it, it resets. So we have a lot of people who have all these extra like skip traces. See if anyone can go skip trace them for you. And what you're going to do in exchange is you're going to give the person 50% of the deal. I know that sounds crazy, but they're going to save you 40 hours, probably in a week. It is worth it's very expensive if you close a $20,000 deal, but it is worth your time because all you have to do is just do it once. You buy X leads, boom, don't worry about it again. But sign a JV agreement. If you have the X plan and you give this to somebody, sign a JV agreement with somebody for 50% that you're going to skip trace that list for them. And you get 50% of any deal they get from that. I know that sounds crazy.
I don't know, 100% of zero.
It is. And I'm telling you right now, that is a great deal for both parties because the guy's going to not skip trace no matter what. Like it's going to reset. So 60,000 is already way too much. But yeah, version 3 is going to go even crazier on that. But yeah, that's what I'd be doing there. Skip trace all 1,100 records. I would start cold calling Google Voice. I'd start texting all 1,100 records. So if you kind of want to get more of a like breakdown of what that looks like, 1,100 records over 30 days, guys, 7 days a week, unfortunately. You're going to be calling 36 people a day and you're going to text 36 people a day. Is that a lot? No. Guys, I'm not even asking much here. I'm just saying, hey, call 36 people a day and text 36 people a day. Insane. Absolutely insane. Crazy. Man, so easy. Then from there, you're going to find some sellers. You're going to lock up some deals. And then you sell to your qualified cash buyers, which you already got. And you close the deal. Guys, if you're method 1, there's nothing stopping you from success here. Just do the work. All right, let's get into method 2. All right. So method 2 here is what we're calling our virtual $0 budget. So if you're virtually wholesaling no money, a lot of people say, oh, you have no money. You're virtually just call Zillow leads. That's all you can do. I saw someone, I said, you can either do Zillow or on market. That's all you have. I'm like, dude, there's so much more. So if you're broke and you have no money and you're virtually wholesaling, we got plenty of successful students doing this. So let's talk about it. Step 1, find the right virtual wholesale market. It's very similar to step 1. You're going to find your title company, closing attorney. You're going to find 15 qualified cash buyers. You might be like, wait, what? What are you talking about? 15? That's way too much, Zach. No. Bro. You're going to find 15. The reason you're going to find 15 is because you do not have time for drawing for dollars. We're going to use that extra drawing for dollars time towards something else, which we'll tell you next. You're going to pull 2 government lists. Again, same thing with the in-person, 500 at least. So about 1,000 government lists. All right. And then you're going to spend 2 hours every night networking inside the Discord, ZachDiscord.com. The reason is the networking is slightly better on ZachDiscord.com. The community is better at Wholesaling.com, but the networking is the best on ZachDiscord.com. And I was actually talking to Sam Ovens today. He is the CEO of School. And I was talking about my school group with him, and I was bouncing some ideas off with him. And he wanted to know more about, fun fact, he wanted to know more about X leads. And he was very curious. He's like, you don't, with his accent, he's like, you don't sell anything. I can't say his accent right. Like, I don't sell anything on School. So he's just like, I don't understand like why, like he's been, him and one of the other co-founders, not Alex Ramosi, the other one of the other co-owners, like, why don't you just sell something, dude? Like, you'd make a killing. And I'm like, and I explained everything I do. He's like, oh, okay. But I'm trying to get him to make Wholesaling.com better than Discord. He did some really cool stuff for me. So he's doing some other cool things, but School's my favorite right now. But I'm telling you right now, Discord is the best for networking. We're trying to get Wholesaling.com up there. We're working on it. But 2 hours a day networking in ZachDiscord.com without even like a thought. Go inside the Discord at like 8 to 10 p.m. And the coolest part about the Discord is you can hop into basically voice chats. So if you remember Clubhouse back in the day, that's basically what it is. You can go into voice chat. It's like a Zoom with 10, 15 other wholesalers, and you just hang out and start talking to other people. There's no cold calling to be happening at 9:30 at night. You hang out with other people. Now, I will warn you, inside the Discord, it's a lot of young kids, a lot of 18, 19, 20-year-olds. And it's fun. It's really fun. A lot of the younger wholesalers gravitate towards Discord, and everyone over the age of 30 likes to be in freewholesaling.com. Now, the young people are still in freewholesaling.com because the course is in there. But go to zachdiscord.com. That's our WAP, but that gives you access to our Discord. And pretty much what that is, you spend 2 hours a day networking in that Discord. I promise you, you're going to get some insane value. And we have so many people just crushing it in that Discord, and they just love to give great advice. And the reason I say that is, first, you're going to find people to JV with in the networking. And what I mean by this, if you go to zachdiscord.com and you say, hey, I have 15 good cash buyers in Cleveland, you're going to find someone saying in the Discord, hey, man, like, dude, I have 3 deals I locked up in Cleveland. I can't sell them. I can't dispo them. Well, I have 15 buyers. How about we split the deal 50-50? You know, people get their first deal from JVing. It's crazy. All because they just went in the Discord. They posted in freewholesaling.com. I would be in both communities, right? They're all one. I think they're all one, but whatever, right? Go inside the Discord, just hang out with people. It's so fun. I have a blast doing it. And then what you do is you skip trace those 1,000 records. You call in text. You find the sellers. You lock up deals. You lock up JV agreements. Our JV agreements free inside of freewholesaling.com. Go to the download section. JV agreements already in there. And then boom, you sell the deal to a qualified cash buyer and you close. Simple as that. Guys, JVing is the future in wholesaling real estate, and we're trying to lead the charge here. I believe I want to make a percentage off your wholesale deal than versus just money, a percentage of your bank account, no matter how successful you become. I've always believed that. I think it's kind of, I've never agreed to, hey, let me just take money from your bank account. I'm always like, well, how about I teach you up front for free? I make you successful, and then you start sending me deals for life. I've never really tried to sell wholesaling programs because I just think this is better. We've done things in the past trying to up the JVs. I've always found just helping people out for free has helped me make the most money on the JVs. And so method 3, this is where you get the highest chance of success. Okay. Highest chance of success. Okay. By far is this. So let's break it all down. So first, again, this is kind of familiar, right? You go out here, you try to find the right wholesaling market. Then from there, you find a title company or closing attorney. And then after that, you go out here and you pull 2 government lists. And then what I do is pull at least 2 bigger X leads lists, high equities, vacants, AI stacked lists, whatever it is. Make sure though that they are at least 5,000 altogether. So probably 4,000 X leads list and then 1,000 from the government. Those would be the ones I do. Then from there, we're going to upload all that data set into X leads. After we upload it, we're going to filter it. Now, you might be like, Zach, what do you mean by filtering it? Well, if I pull, let's say, 500 probates, I'm going to upload into X leads, and then I'm going to filters, and I'm going to filter out anything that's on market. That is just like a no-brainer. Because, I mean, how many times have you marketed a probate that was on market that ended up being a good deal? It's never those, right? Rarely, like never. So you want to upload the government lists in there, make sure it's not on market, make sure that there's some equity, and you'll be good to go. Now, again, the equity part, you're into creative finance. There's plenty of people in the group that can help you out with that stuff. Then step 5, we're going to skip trace, export the data. We're going to put it into our Ninja Mode CRM. And that is what we're going to be using. We can use the triple line dialer in there. We can use a single line dialer. We can use the auto texting service inside of Ninja Mode CRM, which is part of X Leads. And basically what we're going to do is we're going to hit all 5,000 of these records with what I call the triple tap system. And, you know, we have the Ninja Mode sleeve, but the triple tap system is a never done marketing system inside of wholesaling real estate. The triple tap system basically means we're going to get those 5,000 sellers. We're going to first hit them with an email. Then whoever doesn't answer the email, we're going to hit them with a call. And if they don't answer the call, we're going to hit them with a text. It's that funnel system we talked about yesterday. And I'm telling you, if they don't answer any of that, we also like to hit them with a voicemail. Hey, Don't be mad at me. Just saying, the stuff works. Triple tap system, one of my favorite marketing systems out there. And really, there's only one software that could do it. No other software was able to kind of do that. We've asked around before we made X Leads. No one could do it. So we had to make our own that would. And then from there, anybody that didn't answer, and let me make this very, very, very clear. We want to get deals really quick. I'm not saying this is the simplest one, but this is going to get deals quicker than anything. If you have called the leads, they didn't answer. You texted them, they didn't answer. You emailed them because emails are included on X Leads, they didn't answer. You're probably going to have about 2,000 leads that didn't answer. Here's the thing with most sellers. You call, text, email, and they don't answer. Most wholesalers say, yeah, whatever. Let me pull another list. That's a gold mine because that means 10 other people try to call them. Nobody picked up. Nobody talked to them. That's a list of 2,000 that has no saturation pretty much. You just got to get a hold of them. There's one tried and true way to get somebody to go talk to you after they don't want to talk to you. Actually, two ways. Number one, you knock on their door. Three, actually, number one, you knock on their door. Number two, you put a bandit sign on their house. Classic Rick marketing method. And number three, you put a sticky note on their door. Sticky notes on the door. Say, hey, this is Zach. I had a quick question about your house. Please call me back. Like, curiosity is going to be an intrigue. Everyone's going to call that. Is that my ex-lover from 40 years ago? Right? Is that Sarah from Malcolm High School? Right? Does she finally want me now? You know, people are crazy. Human beings like to think of the craziest scenarios in their head. They see a note, they're like, oh my gosh, this has to be this person.
Curiosity.
Okay. And so it's funny. Like, bro, like Sarah's married with 4 kids. She don't want to talk to you. But Zach wants to talk to you and he wants to buy your house. Okay. So reverse drive for dollars on all the unanswered leads. So if you want, there's a map feature inside of X Lead Ninja Mode. You can go to the App Store, the apps inside of Ninja Mode, and you can basically download a route tracking app. Gemini is probably one of my favorite free ones to do. But reverse drive for dollars, all the non-answered leads. Find the sellers, lock up the deals, do some JVs, sell your deal to a cash buyer on X Leads. I like to go in the flippers tab on investor leads. All the buyers pop up right there. Let me show that really quick. Let's see here. All right, here we are. So literally what I do, and this is the quickest way to find a cash buyer in X Leads. You have to have the Pro, the X Plane on here, but you just go to lead pipes, investor leads. Let's just pick Las Vegas. Pick up Las Vegas. Alrighty. Load it up here. Let's just find a random one. Nicholas DeVete. All right. No. 52 is a little much. Let's do TBG Investments. Here we go. So TBG Investments right here. This guy is legit, like a legit buyer. I don't know if you can tell or not, but this guy's like legit buying houses. He looks like he's bought 68. He owns 68 properties in a rental, and he's flipped over 72. He's made $14 million in profits, verified. Do you see a pattern of where he likes to flip houses? Mm-hmm. Pretty obvious, right? Yeah. He likes to buy in this area and this area. So if I lock up a deal in this area right here, like if I lock up a deal in the Seven Hills area, he's my buyer. Or Green Range Valley, he's my buyer. Now, cool part, look at this. In X Leads, you can find, this is my favorite thing he does. Do you see this? This is the landlord tab in X Leads. Do you see where he owns rentals? Oh my gosh, I hate when it does this. Stupid map box. Okay, do you see a pattern of where he likes to own rental properties? Do you see a pattern?
Yep.
Do you see a pattern where he likes to flip houses?
Yep.
It's pretty obvious. Pretty obvious. And all you do is get their phone number right there. You call them up. Boom. Done. And I'm telling you, calling a buyer up is the fastest way. Done. That's all I do. Okay. That's all I do to find cash buyers. It's the best dispo software out there. You could also make a post. So you could actually list your property on X Leads. You could also go out here, make a listing and blast that out via email to cash buyers. That works out. You can email them, right? There's so many ways. Like, you can do it with any, it's just a dispo. It's the best dispo software out there. So go out here and do it like that. And then from there, sell it to an X Leads cash buyer, close the deal. Boom. Simple as that. Then you just go out here and close the deal. And so really, overall, if you're a wholesaler looking to get money and looking to get deals, the moral of the story is let sellers know who you are, give them this crazy lowball offer, lock up the deal, find a cash buyer, send it to the title company, right?
Yep.
Get the assignment signed, walk through, boom, done. And so if I had 30 seconds to tell you what to do in this entire challenge, find motivated sellers, offer to buy their house, lock up a deal, find a cash buyer, sign the assignment, wait till closing day, follow up, and boom, close the seller.
That's it.
That's it. You got to do the work.
Buy low, sell medium. That's the game of wholesaling in real estate.
I love that. So many people like they'll try to make an $80,000 assignment fee and then they just lose the entire deal. They could have just made a 70 and just gone from there.
Or they try to buy medium and sell high. That's not wholesaling. That's speculating. So buy low, sell medium. Don't obsess about the comps and repeat over and over. And that's how you learn the game.
So guys, this is the 30-day wholesaling challenge. Again, the challenge is for you to actually go out here. Do you see the skill set in this challenge is to just consistently do the work? That is it. And so if you're doing the free methods, method 1 and 2, awesome. You will beat anybody on method 3 if you do it every day. I'm asking for 36 calls and 36 texts a day. That's it. Now, if you want to add digital bandit signs, please do it. You want to add email blasting, please do it. But you don't forget your 36 calls and 36 texts you have to make for during the day. And if you are doing the 5,000, that comes out to, let's pop it up. If you're doing 5,000, that pops out to 167 calls, 167 texts, which is really simple. That's really easy. And then 16 reverse drive for dollars or 16 drawing for dollars leads, and you're good to go. So guys, what more is there to do? Well, what I tell you to do is if you want to go out here and have the best success with wholesaling, I do recommend X Leads. You don't need to get it, but I will tell you this, and I'm telling you, like, I'm not even trying to be like funny about this, but just go to xleads.com and sign up right now. The reason I'm telling you this, and I'm making this our thing. We sent an email out to everyone today, and I'm going to tell everyone, this is the only time I'm going to say it live, but like I'm giving everyone my final warning on X Leads. Version 3 is going to come out in under 45 days. We're 30 to 60 days. I'd say about 45 days away. Maybe even 30. I think it's definitely going to come out in August. And version 3 is going to come out for the 1-year anniversary of X Leads. And all I'm going to tell you is we're adding so much stuff on there. I don't know if we can keep the price the same. One thing I'll tell you is the one thing we always do in X Leads is whatever the price you signed up with, you keep. So last time I gave you guys a warning, just telling you the truth. I said, hey, it's $49 a month for the X Leads annual. Get it now or you're going to regret it. Next day, it goes up to $81 for the yearly, which is an insane deal. And everyone cried to me. And they're like, well, that's just what it is. We have thousands of people who did that $49 a year plan. And guess what? Next year, when they're going to renew, they're going to pay $49 a month for the annual. And if they keep it for 10 years, it's going to be $49. I do not care. It's our loyalty thing, but I'll tell you this, if you do not sign up for X Leads and the prices do get raised, I'm not going to guarantee they do. I'm not going to guarantee they don't. But if there is a price raise or something like that, don't cry to me. We are not doing a discount though. We don't discount X Leads. So just don't cry to me. Okay. And I'll tell you this, if you already have X Leads, I'm telling you this right now, you're going to be grandfathered in and we're going to add some. All I'm going to tell you, if you have X Leads right now, I'm not even trying to get anyone to sign up for X Leads just for a second. If you have X Leads right now, if you have the Pro Plan, X Plan, or Basic Plan, there are some insane things coming down the line in the next 30 days. And you are going to be very, very, very happy with me. That's all I'm going to say. And even if you don't ever sign up for X Leads, the whole entire wholesaling community is going to benefit because as long as you know somebody who has X Leads, you're going to get anything dispoed. So we're pretty excited about it. And so that's why I say do it from there. And then most importantly, if you have not joined our freewholesaling.com community, that's where my entire wholesaling course is at. My free CRM, my free, like everything, all my information, scripts, tips, all these things, all of Rick on here, all this stuff. Go to freewholesaling.com and we'll see you soon. I'm going to go live tomorrow in zachdiscord.com. But here's the thing. If you want the link to my live stream in the Discord, it's all in freewholesaling.com. One place. So guys, this is Zach Ginn signing out of the 30 Wholesaling Challenge. I cannot wait to see your results in the next 30 days. We're ready to go. So this is Zach Ginn signing out. Do the action, do the work, and let's go. Go to freewholesaling.com.
Rick Ginn signing out, guys. Have a good one. We'll see you, tomorrow? Are you doing it?
I'm doing the Discord at noon tomorrow.
Noon tomorrow.
It won't be live. It won't be on YouTube, though.
I got it. You got to go to zachdiscord.com.
That's it. All right, guys.
Awesome,
30
guys.
Wholesaling Challenge. We'll see you soon.